My job, Daegu English Experience, DEE, sits on 7 acres of luscious land in the valleys surrounded by mountains. It is an English immersion campus that is located on the outskirts of a small town called Chilguk in Daegu, South Korea. We are so set apart that there's a shuttle that transports us down to the city if we want to leave the campus. About 5 buildings are scattered throughout the property here, each serving a different purpose. While we do have day trips where schools can visit for as short as a few hours, often schools visit for a week at a time for the full experience. Each of the 5 buildings on campus are designated for specific use. We have a building for dorms for the teachers and a separate one for students that visit. We have a building dedicated to basic classroom learning instruction. There's also a building where each classroom resembles real life situations, such as a grocery store, hospital, hair salon, and clothing store. My favorite attractions are the real life airplane and movie theater. There are 3 other companies here in Korea that provide a similar experience for students, but DEE is the best because we're the largest and constantly improving. Every Monday at 9 a.m. sharp, there's a meeting all staff must attend. Jason is the head of us native English teachers, and he serves as the liaison between us and the Korean staff. He goes over goals, updates, or changes for the week we should be aware of. I'm late today, but to be honest, I'm late all Mondays because I was in the Korean office making my morning rounds. The other native teachers would never do something like this. The Korean office can come off as cold and uninterested in forming relationships with us native English teachers, but to be honest, they're just overworked. While we have to deal with the teaching aspect of things, they literally do everything else to keep the campus running. Best believe it takes a lot to stay ahead of the competition and to keep a place like this running. They stay here long after many of us native English teachers are done working for the day. After a few weeks, they warmed up to my efforts of coming into the office and saying hello every morning. Then I started learning their names and other little details about them. Now, 6 months in, here I am walking into the Korean office while the other native English teachers walk past me to go to Monday morning meeting. I head straight for the first cubicle I see and place a bag on the desk. Gah! Suman shrieks, tearing open the bag with a watering mouth. That baby is going to get those macaroons today, I say playfully. Suman is 7 months pregnant, and her cravings for these things are strong. She bites into one of them and her eyes roll in delight. 감사합니다. She beams between chews. Suman is determined for me to learn more Korean than the little bit that I know. She then motions toward her computer screen to point out the amount of work she has and sighs. I know, I say sympathetically. She's on a tight deadline. There's a program coming up that needs a new textbook. DEE is also working on opening up a daycare after the success of the first one in Seoul. Her routine of stopping at the bakery after work isn't possible because she works late trying to get these projects done. So I step in occasionally and surprise her with whatever I know she's craving. Hopefully, I say, patting onto the bag I placed on her desk, these will carry you throughout the day. I continue my way through the office. I check to see if I have any mail before stopping at Minjun's office. He's the head of the Korean staff. Our ritual every morning is to exchange details about our weekend. He's been trying to get a girl for a minute, but he hasn't been successful. I want to know who didn't work out this week, because there's always something wrong with all of the girls he meets. "Hey," I whisper, "how'd that date go?" He looks up, disappointed, and sighs. Disaster. His English is smooth. We hit it off so well because he graduated from Ohio State, my former college, 2 years before me. "It's all a part of the process," I laugh, shrugging my shoulders. "Hey, any mail today?" he says, changing the subject. "Nothing yet. I get my monthly care packages from my homeboy Terrence back in the States. I always split my Grippos, Buskin ice cookies, and cans of Skyline chili with them. He misses Ohio snacks as much as I do." "Darnell!" I hear a loud voice boom. It's Mr. Song, the president of DEE. He walks over with a sharp-tailored suit and a bright smile. "Hey, Mrs. Song, vacation good?" He gives me a hearty slap on the back. "Amazing. Japan, beautiful," he exclaims in choppy short sentences. "One day I go," I respond in short sentences so he can understand. While there have been opportunities to leave the country since I've been here, the nightlife just keeps me wanting to linger around. "Okay," I say, turning back to Minjun. "I'm going to head to this meeting. We'll talk later." Before you go, Minjun swivels around, grabs a paper from the printer, and hands it to me. "These are the programs coming up." "Good looking." I go through the sheet of what's to come as I head down the hall to the conference room. It's about 9:15 when I enter. I slip in quietly and make my way to the back where my homeboy Ross sits. My overperforming homegirl Tasha is sitting right up front with a notebook in her hand, jotting down everything Jason has to say. He is going over target goals and minor schedule changes for the week. Considering my connection with the Korean staff, I have everything in my hand right here. "Miss anything?" I say playfully as I give Ross a pound. Florida born, he's dark, tall, and lanky with roots in Haiti. He almost doesn't hear me at first. His eyes are watching Dobbin's fine ass walk through the hall outside the meeting doors. Dobbin is like Mr. Song's walking office, remembering everything as it happens to recall it at a moment's whim. She's a short woman that keeps the ends of her hair laying flat against her chin like a well-fitted helmet. She has dark pebbles for eyes, and her figure I can tell she keeps tight by staying in the gym. Dobbin holds her chin up high when she walks and never speaks to foreigners. I've never heard her utter anything in English, or even smile for that matter. When she makes it down the hall out of sight, he turns to me and answers. "Does monotony count?" He laughs. "We keep things low because Daegu has an anonymous gossip blogger. The site is called The Scoop. Everything gets aired out, from who's cheating, who's screwing, who's beefing, and cutting up in the town. A blog post gets dropped sometime during the last week of every month. The anticipation and spontaneity of the post gets everyone excited and nervous. Luckily for me, the few times I've been in there, the info wasn't too damaging." I snicker. "Mind piping down a bit?" Sarah whips around, swinging her blonde ponytail to the other side of her shoulders. She curts her eyes at me, then at Ross, then back my way. Her face is a clenched fist, scrunched up and ready to strike. I lift my hands up defensively and give my signature dimpled smile. "My bad, Sarah. Wouldn't want you to miss anything." She gives me a slow once-over and rolls her eyes. She starts to turn around before she decides to continue. "You know, I saw you bringing gifts for that woman in the Korean office. I'll have to keep my eye on the scoop." "The scoop? Why's that?" I ask. "Well, to see if there's any leads to that being your baby." Sarah hits low when she wants a rise out of you. I guess she's bored trying Ross. So she's joined her boyfriend Julian on ganging up on me. Don't hate the player, hate the game, I joke. The hell does that mean? It means, Julian begins, her South African counterpart, that he does unrelated things for work related bonuses. The amount of foreign teachers on this campus increases the competition everyone feels they need to have against each other. This is the case particularly between Julian and I. His girlfriend Sarah enjoys feeding the flame. I work smarter, not harder, I retort, and then turn back to Ross. Anyway, man. Sarah whips her head back around and huffs. I swear they sit here on purpose just to eavesdrop on our conversation. Ross shakes his head and whispers even lower. Always something with those two. Man, tell me about it. Julian has taken credit for Ross's work more than once. I'm surprised he can stay so composed around him. You get into anything this weekend, he asks, changing the subject. The usual, plus a little extra. Word? Who? Remember Adi? Adi. He whispers the name to himself a few times, trying to trigger a memory. DVD room, remember? DVD room quickie. Yeah, I remember. Suddenly, there's a bit of stirring in the front of the room, and that could only mean we are nearing the end of the meeting. If there are any new teachers starting their first day, they are called up to the front to be introduced. This is the part most teachers get excited about because of the opportunity to get bank days. With bank days, we get to volunteer to help a new teacher out for a week in exchange for 2 free days that we call bank days. On top of this, there's an additional 2 days given if the new teacher leaves a positive review of the teacher that helped them. I don't volunteer for things like this anymore because, like Julian said, I get more perks other ways doing less work. I turn back to Ross to give more details about my night with Adi when I hear a familiar name. I pause and think for a moment. Where had I heard that name before? I look up and I see her, Hakeem's friend, the one from the club on Friday night, Tegan Freeman.